Welcome to the channel, guys. So today in this video we're gonna solve question paper of Croc 1 2020, and this video will cover question number 61 to 90, and this is the part 4 of the video. Before watching part 4, I will recommend you to watch other parts as well. Please check the I button. So let's start the video with question number 61. In the process of acetylcholine interaction with muscarine acetylcholine receptors of contractile cardiomyocytes, a bioactive substance is being produced. This bioactive substance leads to the inactivation of calcium channel, decreased calcium ion entry and development of the negative ionotropic effect. So guys, any hormone or neurotransmitter is a primary messenger, and when it attaches to the receptor, it causes some changes, and the changes take place because of the secondary messengers. And these secondary messengers are cyclic AMP, cyclic GMP, etc. And in most of the cases, the secondary messenger is cyclic AMP, and in case of acetylcholine also, it is cyclic AMP. This is very easy and direct question, cyclic AMP. So the next question is, examination showed that the total leukocytes count in a patient blood is 11, 10⁹ per liter, with 80% neutrophils, among which 9% are band neutrophils, characterize the changes in a cell composition of WBC. What they have given is the number of leukocytes is increased, that is 80%, and band neutrophils is 9%. We have segmented and band neutrophils, two type of neutrophils, and band neutrophils normally present in the range of 0 to 5%. This is the normal range of band neutrophils, but here it is 9%, and band neutrophils comes before segmented neutrophils. Before, that means it is going towards the left, so it should be a left shift. Let's see the options. Yeah, so here it is nuclear left shift of the neutrophils. I will show you a diagram to understand it very easily. This is the elevated band count. So here we have band neutrophil, and this is the segmented neutrophils. We have band neutrophil before segmented neutrophil, and it is increasing in the question. So the graph is going towards the left. Okay, so there is a left shift. Let's move to the next question. Blood smear analysis of a blood sampling obtained from a patient with inflammatory process shows a large number of round cells with segmented nucleus and fine pink violet granulation in the cytoplasm. Guys, when we stain from H and E, what we have is basophil, eosinophil and neutrophils. So basophils will be stained dark blue, eosinophils bright red, and neutrophils neutral pink. So in this case, here is pink color, so answer will be neutrophils. In case of basophils, it will be dark blue, and in case of eosinophils, it will be bright red. And the neutrophils is contain a nucleus which is divided into 2 to 5 lobes. That means it is segmented. So according to the question, segmented nucleus and pink color neutrophils. So the next question is, a newborn boy has dolichocephalic skull, microcephaly, and defects of heart, kidney and digestive system. The child karyotype is 47XY plus 18, that is trisomy of chromosome number 18. Very direct, easy question. Edwards syndrome, there is no concept. If you know this, you know this. Okay, so the answer is Edwards syndrome. What will happen in Klinefelter syndrome? It will be 47XXY, Klinefelter 47XXY. In Patau syndrome, trisomy of chromosome number 13, down, trisomy of chromosome number 21, and in Turner syndrome, it will be 45X0. Guys, learn this, because maybe this year they will ask you about Patau syndrome down or Turner syndrome, because last year they asked about the Edwards syndrome. So this is very direct question and easy question. Let's move to the next. A histological specimen demonstrated a vessel with a wall that consists of endothelium, basement membrane and loose connective tissue. Loose connective tissue is present in a non-muscular type of vessels, and among this, only this option has a non-muscular vein. Let's move to the next question. Arterial blood pH is 7.4, primary urine is 7.4, final urine pH is 5.8. Decreased pH of the final urine results from a secretion of certain substance in a nephron tubule. Name these substances. Guys, in distal tubule of the nephron, there is a combination of reabsorption of sodium, potassium and hydrogen. So kidney maintain a acid-base balance by absorption of sodium and excretion of hydrogen and ammonia. So hydrogen ion will be excreted. Next question. A patient came to a hospital complaining of abdominal distension, diarrhea and meteorism that occurs after eating protein-rich food, which indicate disturbed protein metabolism and intensified protein putrefaction. What substance in the product of this process, in the intestine? Okay, so first, what is putrefaction? What will happen? The digestion take place in small intestine, but some of the undigested protein and some unabsorbed amino acids pass into the large intestine, and where the decomposition of them take place by some bacteria, and this process is called putrefaction. And because of the process of putrefaction, we get certain products, some beneficial products. These beneficial products are vitamin K, B12 or B9, and we have some toxic products as well. And these toxic products are amines, indole, and H2S, phenol, etc. So let's see, for one more thing. In the question, they have told you all the toxic symptoms, right? Diarrhea and all. And see, indole. So indole is the answer. A patient complained of acute increase in diuresis. Examination revealed decreased secretion of vasopressin in the patient. What cell have insufficient secretory activity in this case? There is increased diuresis. That means vasopressin will be decreased, antidiuretic. So the it releases from pituitary in response to ADH synthesized by hypothalamus. Okay, so neurosecretory cells of hypothalamus. This is all regulated by hypothalamus. So the 35-year-old man complained of a severe rhinitis and a loss of sense of smell for a week. Examination detected in nasal cavity a large amount of mucus covered the blocked the olfactory receptors. So where are the olfactory receptors are present? I will show you a diagram. So this is the diagram. We have 1, 2 and 3 concha, superior, medial and inferior. And here is the presence of, see in the diagram, here the olfactory receptors are present, that means on the superior nasal concha. So the answer is very direct, superior nasal concha. If you remember the diagram from the anatomy, it's easy. A 70-year-old man experienced a severe stress. High blood level of adrenaline and non-adrenaline sharply increased. What enzyme catalyzes the process of non-adrenaline inactivation? So guys, the activity of these neurotransmitters efficiently terminated through the inactivation of enzyme known as COMT, like catechol O methyl transferase, or MAO, like monoamine oxidase, by reuptake into the nerve endings or by diffusion from the binding site. So in the option we have MAO in monoamine oxidase. Due to the case of diphtheria prevention, immunization of the whole contact group of the student is necessary. What preparation should be used to produce artificial active immunity? So guys, they are asking about the artificial active immunity. If we give anti-diphtheria serum, the serum already have immunoglobulin present, so it is a passive immunity. And first I will tell you that artificial active immunity are of two types. The one which we take from outside and the one which body make it by itself. So in case of DTP vaccine, this is a natural active immunity, and so therefore we will take anatoxin, diphtheria anatoxin. So the next question is, a woman who worked as a shop assistant and suffered from a phlebitis developed a thrombus in the area of a varicose vein in her legs. What pathological factor was primary in the process of thrombus formation in this case? So let's see the options. The options are, vascular wall damage is the answer. Why? Because what is phlebitis? Phlebitis is inflammation of vein, and if there is inflammation in the vein, there will be a wall damage, and therefore vascular wall injury is the major cause and a primary cause. And the other option, if we will see, like fibrinolytic, blood viscosity, fibrinogen, blood clotting, all are related to the clotting factors, but they are asking about the primary factor, so it will be a vascular wall damage due to the inflammation. So the next question is, section shows a significant enlargement of the patient's right kidney. There is a nephrolith at the place of a incision, nephrolith kidney stone. Renal pelvic lumen is distended with accumulating urine. The renal parenchyma is sustainedly thinned out. What is the most correct diagnosis? So the answer is hydronephrosis. And what is hydronephrosis? Hydronephrosis is a swelling of kidney due to the buildup of the urine, and it happens when the urine cannot drain out from the kidney to the bladder, and this is because of some obstruction or blockage. And in this case, they have given that there is a nephrolith, so obviously there will be accumulation of urine, and hydronephrosis will be the most correct answer. So next, let's move to the next question. A 46-year-old woman was brought to a hospital specializing in nervous system diseases. The man was provisionally diagnosed with cerebral hemorrhage. The patient presented with frequent spontaneous limb movement intermittent with the state of limb muscle hypertonia. These signs can be explained by the damage of the following brain structure. Very direct question, if you have studied this, that basal ganglia is responsible, like it is associated with the control of voluntary movements and voluntary motor movements and procedural learning, habit learning, eye movement and motion. So obviously the basal ganglia is the most correct answer. So the next question is, after a boy fell from a tree, the arm abduction to the horizontal position of that is difficult. So what muscle is likely to be damaged? Obviously, if arm abduction, we will go to the deltoid muscle, because deltoid is the primary movement for the shoulder abduction. All the heads of the deltoid work together to produce the abduction of the shoulder. So obviously deltoid. So the next question is, a 7-year-old child developed sore throat and high blood temperature on a second day after the onset of the disease. There appear a dense red rash that looks like a small spot the size of the poppy seed. They covered the whole body except the nasolabial triangle. Examination of oral cavity revealed bright red pharynx, enlarged tonsils, raspberry red tongue. All the symptoms which they have given in the question, mark the word red tongue, bright red pharynx, raspberry red tongue is directly go for scarlet fever. Whenever you see in the question red tongue, go for scarlet fever and small spots, red spots. Very direct question. So the next question is question 77. For the relief of an intestinal colic, a patient was prescribed atropine sulfate. What disease can be contraindicated for the administration of this medication? So guys, atropine sulfate is an anticholinergic drug, and it is contraindicated in glaucoma as well as in hypertension. Why? Because it causes elevation of intraocular pressure. So that's why glaucoma is given in the option. Contraindication of atropine. See, this is a direct question. If you have studied the drug list which we have for CROC, the important drug list, they have mentioned glaucoma and the contraindications. So the next question is, puncture biopsy of a transplanted kidney detected there is a diffuse stromal infiltration of lymphocytes, plasma cells, lymphoblast, plasmablast, as well as necrotizing arteritis. Okay, what pathological process developed in the transplant? Very easy. In the biopsy, they have given lymphocytes and other cells. Why lymphocytes are present? Because lymphocytes are responsible for the rejection. So therefore, immune rejection, and as a result, there is a damage of artery, necrosis of the artery. So the next question is, a young woman suddenly developed cough and bronchial spasm when she entered into the room with highly concentration of tobacco smoke. What receptors activated this defensive reflex? Very direct question. Irritant receptors. What are irritant receptors? They lie between the airway epithelial cells and stimulated by noxious gases, cold, or inhalation of the dust. So irritant receptors. So the next question we have is, a patient has peptic ulcer of the stomach What medication can decrease the secretion of hydrochloric acid and pepsin by blockage of the H2 receptors? Again, the drug from a croc list, famotidine, H2 antagonist. Very direct question. It is, guys, if you have studied, like the drug list for the croc is enough. If you will study those 140 drugs, you will get 100% in the pharmacology, I bet. Okay, so in this case, famotidine, it is an H2 antagonist. It will decrease the stomach acid. Therefore indicated in the case of peptic ulcer diseases. A 40-year-old woman was diagnosed with bronchial asthma that manifests as a periodical asphyxia attack. What type of ventilatory insufficiency can be observed in the patient during the attack? Very basic and direct question. We have two types of respiratory disease, and among them we have one type is obstructive diseases, and among obstructive diseases the main is bronchial asthma. So bronchial asthma is a kind of obstructive respiratory disease. So the next question is, a patient with an injury of the greater psoas muscle was delivered to the traumatology center. The patient has lost the ability to extend the lower leg at the knee joint. What nerve is damaged? Extension of the lower leg femoral nerve, very direct, because it has a motor functions by flexation at the hip and leg extension at the knee. So let's see the options. Yeah, option A, femoral nerve. So the next question is, a patient complained of a pain in the upper umbilical region. On palpation there is a mobile painful intestine. Upper umbilical region, mobile painful intestine. What intestine is being palpated? Let's see the diagram. This is the umbilical region and this is the upper umbilical region part, and what we have here is, let me highlight it. What we have here, this is our transverse colon. Okay, so this is a transverse colon. So yeah, the answer is transverse colon. Okay. So the next question is, a 5-year-old child is diagnosed with Bruton's disease, X-linked A gamma globina. I will tell you one mnemonic, that is BAM, BAM. Whenever you see Bruton's disease, write BAM and one decrease. Why? Because in Bruton's disease there is a decrease of immunoglobulin A and M. Okay. So that manifests itself in severe clinical course of bacterial infection, absence of B lymphocytes and plasma cells. What changes in immunoglobulin content can be observed in a bloodstream of a child with immunodeficiency? There is a Bruton's disease, obviously decrease of A and M. Remember the mnemonic BAM. So, in a hypothetical experiment, the action of a toxic substances disrupt the mechanism of nerve impulse transmission between the neurons. So, we have two neurons, for example, like this, presynaptic and postsynaptic synaptic neurons, and this area is synapse. So any neurotransmitter will transfer from here to here, and this the place between it is synapse. So obviously there is a disruption in somewhere in synapse, that's why the neurotransmitter is not transmitting the. So the next question is, a 45-year-old woman has breast cancer. Metastasis can spread in this case in the following region. Very direct question. If she is having a breast cancer or anything which the woman have in breast area, it will move towards the axillary part and a peristernal part. And if there is any problem in the lungs, it will go to the sternal part. So in the case of breast, axillary and peristernal part. Due to a cerebral hemorrhage, the patient developed a disturbed speech perception. Sensory asphyxia. What brain structure is likely to be damaged in this case? Guys, it should be a superior temporal gyrus, because the contents of the superior temporal gyrus is responsible for the processing of sound, and it includes a vernix area. If you know that vernix area is a major area involved in a comprehensive of language, speech. So let's see. Yeah, superior temporal gyrus and inferior temporal gyrus for the vision. Okay. So the next question is, acute hepatic gingivostomatitis is most common primary infection caused by the herpes simplex virus type 1. What material should be obtained by the dentist for the laboratory testing? So guys, in the patient is having gingiva stomatitis, inflammation of gingiva, inflammation in the mouth, and the herpes simplex virus forms small vesicles in the area of white vesicles in the area of mouth. So obviously the dentist will take the vesicular fluid, the fluid which is inside the vesicles, for the diagnosis. And the next question is, the mountain climber who without oxygen equipment were climbing a mountain at the altitude of 5,000 meters above the sea level developed a tachycardia, low blood pressure and fast respiratory rate. What type of hypoxia did they develop? Obviously respiratory hypoxia. Why? Because on the high altitude there is a less oxygen present and he went without oxygen, so obviously he will develop respiratory hypoxia. So the next question is, a 9-year-old child developed a severe case of purulent obstructive pneumonia for which the child received a massive antibacterial therapy. The disease was rapidly progressing against the background of marked intoxication. The disease is progressive and against the background of marked intoxication. A sharp drop in blood pressure was registered. The patient went to the state of shock, which resulted in the death of the patient. What etiopathogenetic type of shock development in this case? They have already given that there is an intoxication, so obviously toxic shock syndrome. So this is all, we have covered 90 questions. In the next video we'll cover the next 30 questions, and do watch the other parts as well, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please subscribe if you like the video. Thank you so much.